Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start the event soon. To the delegates in the hall, please find a seat and make yourself comfortable. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to start the event soon. Would you please come into the hall and take your seats? Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin our event. May I please ask you to come in and settle down? For those of you at the back of the room, we still have a lot of space in front. Would you mind coming up front and settle down? All our tables are very comfortable, and I assure you that the food and drinks will flow right away. May I please ask all the delegates in the room to please find your seats as we are about to begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Networking for Impact, an evening together. I'm Le Hui from the AVPN Hong Kong team. I hope you had a fantastic 2 days at our 2024 AVPN Global Conference. We've had so many plenary sessions and breakout sessions and also a lot of networking, so I hope you made a lot of new friends. This evening, we have a spread of food and drinks for you to continue networking, and I hope there will be many fruitful conversations here tonight. Today, we have representatives from the Hong Kong Jockey Club Charities Trust here with us. They are one of the largest philanthropies globally. They are here to introduce to us the new Institute of Philanthropy, a new Think, Fund, and Do initiative. I hope you have networked with them and find out more about their work and also their visions for this institute. Before we go any further with tonight's events, may I please invite the CEO of AVPN, Ms. Nena Subbarao Batra, to come on stage to welcome us. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Come on in, come on in. It's a party, and we can't have one if you're standing outside. Come on in. So, day 2 of AVPN 2024. How was your day? Don't hear you. How was your day? Still can't hear you. How was your day? Much better, much better, much better. So someone wrote a speech for me which is a little boring, so I'm not going to read it. I've had a fabulous day. I've had a fabulous 2 days, and someone just told me that every hour that they have been here, they've met someone magical, and they have created magic with every meeting that they've had. How many people have had magical meetings? That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And so I hope you have more magical meetings today. I'm not sure whether table 1, 4, and 3 are actually reserved. So if you're looking for a place, just sit. It doesn't matter. Feel free, because I'm looking out at tables 1, 4. There are people on table 5, but on tables 1 and 4, no one sitting. Feel free to sit down. So today, we have Impact Networking evening. You should be Impact Networking every day you're here, every hour you're here. That is why you're here. We're a network. What do you do when you come to a conference hosted by a network? You network. So continue networking. Meet people who you don't know. Please don't sit with your colleagues or someone you came with. You. Sit with other people. That's how you will make magic, because you will meet new people. Don't sit with the same old, same old. And, hello? Hi? Where did you come? No, the guy who was chatting while I was talking. You, looking around. You, yes. How are you? You had a good day? Good. So did I. Nice to meet you. All right. So as Le Hui, my colleague, said when none of you were listening to her and you were rude, we are here to celebrate an amazing new addition to our ecosystem in Asia. The Hong Kong Jockey Club is their new center, IOPO, and you're going to hear more about it. So please listen, because I, for one, am very, very excited about IOPO. And after 11 years of being CEO of AVPN, I don't get so excited easily. So if I'm excited, it's a good thing. You should listen. Yes. So we are here tonight, courtesy one of AVPN's long-standing partners, the Hong Kong Jockey Club. They have been and are and will continue to be really amazing partners for AVPN. You know, a lot of times what we do in conferences like this, we talk about partnership and we talk about collaboration. But you need to see good partners and you need to see good collaborators to really know what good partnership and good collaboration is. And I'm telling you that our partnership with the Hong Kong Jockey Club is a really good example of what a good partnership should be. So, and a good partnership happens because you have a good leader. So I want to introduce my dear friend, Dr. Gabriel Leung, who is the leader of the Hong Kong Jockey Club, the Executive Director, Charities and Communities of the Hong Kong Jockey Club, overseeing its charity trust, and Director of the Institute of Philanthropy. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause. He is one of the most interesting people, and you will lose out if you don't listen to what he has to say.
Much, Naina, and thank you all. I know I stand between you and food. And after a very full day, that's not an enviable position. My job is really, you know, most people, when they pay for dinner, they don't have to sing and dance for dinner. I am paying for dinner, yes. That's why she calls me a good partner, in part anyway. But I'm also having to do the song and dance before you can have dinner. So apologize on behalf of my colleagues and Naina that you have to listen to my little blurb. But my little blurb is not like the standard advertorial. My blurb is really to explain to you that we have put money where our mouth is, and we have created a new platform since last September. So this is brand new, even since KL, the last AVPN conference. So I'm very excited to report to you that we've now got a new platform in Asia, from the Near East, where we are, to the Far East, where I live. So now, first of all, this pays for dinner. I've been a member of the Hong Kong Jockey Club since I was a child. And I hadn't realized the magic of how you redirect revenue from horse racing and wagering 100% into public good 3 times over, until I actually joined to look after its charities trust. So in a word, what we do is we race, and that's where the racing comes in, for charity. That's what we do. So for every $100 that you wager in a particular race, $83 goes right back out after 90 seconds as payout to punters. You're left with 17. Out of the $17, 13 goes to taxes and duties. So redistribution through the government inland revenue system. You're left with $4. The $4 pay for all of the operating expenses, and then every last drop goes into the charities trust, which has allowed us to become one of the top 10 donors by donation amount in the world. And that's really what's paying for dinner and my salary. I just thought that you should know that there are probably only a handful of organizations that pay taxes 3 times on the same dollar. We pay tax the first time in terms of betting duty, that's the top line tax. Second time on the same dollar, you pay as EBITDA, which everybody does. And then the third time, through the Charities Trust into community programs. So we're probably the only silly organization that pays taxes 3 times. Twice involuntarily, but very happily to government, and the third time, along with the rest of you, into the third sector through philanthropy. Now, we formally inaugurated ourselves as an independent organization with charitable status in Hong Kong last September. The Institute of Philanthropy has already made the top 10 news events in Chinese philanthropy last year. And I suppose the reason is because of what we see as a potential. If you think about from the Near East to the Far East, Asian wealth has grown faster than the rest of the world. It has been the world's growth engine in the last 2-3 decades, and it will continue to be, regardless of which economic forecast you read. Ultra-high net worth individuals, 33% CAGR by 2025 in Asia versus 27% global average. Wealth in China and India, that's 42% of humanity, is projected to continue growing by 1.5 times roughly from now to the end of this decade. And if you think about the US, which has given us a lot of valuable lessons in philanthropy, really since the time of the Rockefeller Foundation's founding, 110 years ago. And today, the US gives 2% of GDP, roughly, through the philanthropic system. China, where I come from, less than 0.2% GDP. So there's a 10x difference. And the picture is very similar across the whole of Asia. Let's not think that we are going to have the same system as the US, which is a very unique taxation system that incentivizes giving. So let's not pretend that we might want to grow 10x, but even if we grow 2x in Asia, with the Middle East, with India, with China, with Indonesia, the 4 biggest population concentrations, can you imagine what kind of resource mobilization we are going to be able to create? It is the world's largest resource mobilization and redistribution exercise in the coming 2 decades, simply by growing to 1/5 of what the US is today. And if we grow 5x, which is half of what they are, oh my God, you are going to be so busy because we are in this business of giving. So that's why we've got this new common platform, the Institute of Philanthropy. You will notice that it has absolutely no bearing to the Jockey Club Charities Trust. There is no mention of us because we are but one member, just like the rest of you. And instead of doing the think tank only, which is a gap shop, like what I'm doing now, which is bad, we want to make sure that we do. That is, we ground every project and it's action-oriented. But in order to do that, you need to mobilize resources. And that's where the fund comes in. So it's a think, fund, do tank. And we hope to create this to really make sure that we do impactful philanthropy. We've been talking a lot about impact in the last couple of days, and we are determined that we will do it together with you through these 4 activities. First, connecting and convening, and there is bar none, the leader and the pioneer in Asia through AVPN, Naina and her team. And that's what we hope to be able to do much more with partners like AVPN and others. Second thing, synthesizing and sharing. So just down the road in Dubai, there was COP28. We already managed to be included as the only Asia-based philanthropy to sign up to the financing declaration of how you would think about climate change and philanthropy. And we also signed a statement of collaboration with our friends, the Rockefeller Foundation, on climate and health, working together. And I just talked to a couple of other big foundations here, literally hours ago, who are all doing very similar things. So this is the networking effect at work. The third thing we want to do is to really professionalize and continue building capacities and competencies in our own philanthropic sector. I'm a relative newcomer to this field. I joined this sector 2 years ago. Previous to that, I was in the medical field and in the healthcare field for my entire career, both in public service and in academia. So everybody is actually a migrant into the field that I've met. So how do we make sure that we can grow together? So that's the third thing we're going to do. And the fourth thing we're going to do is to commission and support research. We cannot grow without creating and synthesizing new knowledge that we then put to practice. So these are the four things that we hope to be able to do together with you and for you. And this is the only commercial plug. It doesn't require money, but it does require you to fly to Hong Kong in September. For those of you who would like to attend UNGA and starts to check your diary, I've checked for you. UNGA takes place a week after this. So even if you plan on going to the UN General Assembly and all its myriad side events, you still have a week in between. So you can go and take a cruise ship from Hong Kong into Manhattan. But this is September 9th and 10th, which coincides with our 140th anniversary. And for those of you who were there last year, you will know that it was an amazing experience with 1,700 delegates, all by invitation only, no conference fees. So do come, and we promise you very, very exciting discussions and exchanges and learnings that will carry on and through from AVPN just this week. And with that, let me just wish you a very, very good rest of the conference, and bon appetit, and cheers to everybody. Wine and food and drinks are going to now be served, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much indeed.